Hello my friends, I hope you're fine. Today I'm going to create a Rick and Morty application with Riverpod. Yeah, this is my second video and I hope you watched the first video, and now it's time to create future provider with StateNotifier provider. We will fetch some data from the API. Which API? Here, the Rick and Morty API. Let's look, get all characters, and here we go. Yeah, you can see all the datas. There are lots of information, and we will fetch it and we will show here. And after that we can search some, I don't know, characters. For example, maybe Rick, and yeah, we have two Ricks, right? Anyway, if we search with empty, then we get the initial state, and our state has these informations, these datas. So this is a simple application, but it is better than counter application, right? So let's look the code. Now we can first go application folder or domain, structure, presentation, providers, maybe main.dart. Yeah, we can basically start with pubspec.yaml. Yeah, because you should know the package. Flutter Riverpod we have freezed, and sizer, dio, change network image. And why we use Flutter SVG, I don't know actually. Let's remove this. I just test some things. In a way, now we have these packets, and let's go to domain.dart. Okay, first things first, you need to already know that we need to wrap all the widgets with provider scope if you want to use Riverpod. And then I use sizer package, but you do not have to use, of course. Then we have app widget, and app widget have homepage. And by the way, our application is just a one-page application, no more. And we have some widgets. Again, I will not explain the widgets because the subject, the main topic is the state management, Riverpod. So I will not explain the widgets. These are basic widgets. So we have homepage body, search bar here, and Rick and Morty items for our list here. First things first, let's remove the state. I mean, let's remove the freezed, because right now I want to show you how to create with build runner. Okay, so after creating state, you also will get like these results, some errors, right? Our state actually required, our state with empty initial, empty, and what is my state? We have list of character model, and I will explain and I will show. After creating a state, we need to run build runners code here to create search state.freeze.darts, search states freezed file actually. Yeah, so to create it, let's run this code, and we are waiting. Okay, we saw the succeed after blah 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 blah, and also our search state.freezed file is created here, and now our state is ready. Yeah, and we have character list state, and actually it is list of character model. And what is the character model? Let's see. Here in the domain folder and also in the character folder, we have character dot dart. You can do same things in here. Let's remove the freezed file. We created character name and character image URL. This is our character model. And when it's empty, here. And after creating character model, we need to run again build runners code. By the way, if you want to run always this code, you can also do, instead of build, watch. But you need to be careful because here it does not close the terminal. For example, if we change the, I don't know, state or a model or anything, we need to see the differences between watch and build. For example, let's say it's boolean instead of string, and also here boolean, not this is okay, false. Yeah, like this. You can see here in the terminal it still runs, right? Because we said that watch instead of build. So be careful about this. Anyway, let's remove, run, and let's close it like this. Now we have character model, we have search states. Okay, let's look the application. We have events. Which events? We can search some things, right? This is an event, searching event, or maybe search text changed event when we write some things. Also, we have update list items, which related with this button. Simple, right? After creating state, event, our model, let's close it. It's time to create notifier, our notifier, state notifier, right? State notifier. What is our state? Search, searching some things. Yeah, the topic of this application or the section. Anyway, we have search notifier and its event, of course, search state, and we have map events to state function method to reach the events. We have two events, remember, search text changed and update list items. It is our what? It's our state notifier. And at the end of the application folder. Now we can go in structure. In the structure folder and also in the API service folder, we have API service. And to fetching datas, I use dio package. So of course you do not have to use. You can also, I don't know, maybe use to JSON or from JSON. It doesn't matter, but I use this, and what we get, let's see, print response and the data and results. Let's look debug console. Yeah, we have these informations I showed you when we begin the video. These all of the informations as a list, you can see here. And now let's delete it. Now we fetch the data, right? But not at all. So why? Let me show you. By the way, this is simple, just fetching data from the API, but we need to show, and also we need to use in our application. So we need to reach API service, and after that we need to call this method, this function, get characters datas here. We need to go providers folder. Yeah. Now we have 3 providers. In the first video we had just 1, right? So right now we have 3. First things first, let's look the API provider. Do not forget this. I will show you, but anyway, why we use API provider? And you can see it is a normal provider, not state notifier provider or feature provider, stream provider, or the other things. It is a simple provider. So I can say if you have a simple thing like API service, I mean, if you want to reach a simple thing, API service, for example, I want to reach API service class, not the function. I just want to reach here. Okay, so I use provider, and after the creating API provider, and we will use, of course, let's create this. What is this? Characters datas provider. Now we have feature provider with auto dispose, of course. So if you do not use the dispose, it seems complicated, but it is not. And it is actually dispose method, but automatically. Simple, right? We use feature provider with auto dispose. And what we have also, we have return what? We have return character list. Here I use API provider and I use read, not watch method, because I do not want to watch it. I do not want to listen it. I just want to read for a one time. Read the state without listening. Okay, this is a key, the only key. So since this is a feature provider and since this is a feature, I use read. Ref.read, it wants to provider, right? So which provider? API provider. Why? Because API provider returns API service. So I can reach the API servers via API provider. So I use like this. Got it? I think yes. Now, after reaching the API provider, we can reach its functions. Okay, we have just a one function, but anyway, I use then, and now I can reach the characters, each character. For example, Rick, it's the first one, or it goes like this, and seconds will be probably Morty Smith, and third Summer Smith, and it goes like this. Now we have character list, and you can ask why you create the empty list, actually empty list of character model, and why you use e less than 10. So to keep it simple, I use 10. You can see here the 10 items, right? Just a 10, because there are lots of information, lots of characters. To keep it simple, I use like this, and after adding something, some datas, I return the character list which we created here. Yeah. Now what we have also in the providers folder, we have search provider. Yeah. And in here we use again state notifier provider as the first video. Now here we have list of character model again. Why? Actually it's coming from the character datas provider here, and we watch it. Why we watch it? It's a feature and we want to get just a one time, right? Why we watch it? Because it can be null. It can be null. How? It's related with internet actually. When it's null, I show the empty list. And when it's empty list, let's run. You can see there are no any characters, right? And I did in the presentation folder for this case. Now we have character model list, we explained, and we return search notifier in normal situation like this. For example, in the first video we did like this, but here we didn't. Why? Actually, I want to do a different thing, and also I need it. I want to use a function in here when I call the search notifier, and also I want to use its function when I call this search notifier. I also want to call a method. How? With two dots. It's meaning just a create notifier and then use this method. If you do like this, for example, we couldn't. Yeah. So we need to use two dots. And what is the function? Map events to state. It wants us to event. And we send the update list items. Okay, anyway. Now I showed the API provider, character status provider, and search provider for you. Right now we can go here, presentation folder. Yeah, let's close this. And in the presentation folder and also in the home page, we have stateless widget. Yeah, it is not a consumer widget or consumer stateful widget. It's just a stateless widget. And we have body, homepage body, and in the homepage body it's also stateless widget. We have what? Search bar, and we can multi items. In the search bar, here we have text editing controller. Again, I do not use onChanged method, but of course you can. Where here onChanged, and value return what? Return ref dots, nothing. So just a minute, I will do consumer widget instead of stateless widget. But after showing this, I will delete because I want to show you consumer, not consumer widgets in this file. Widget ref. Okay, now we can use the ref because we have ref, right? We use consumer widget. Ref dots, what, watch, or read. Which one? Of course, read. Why? Because we use function. Which provider? State notifier provider. And what is our state notifier provider? Here, search provider, right? Search provider notifier. That's our function, map events to state, and it wants us to event. Which event? Let's look. Search text changed, this event. So let's go back our events with the like this anyway. Search event. Here, search text changed. Yeah, like this. And what is our text? It wants us to text here value. Yeah, anyway, you can use like this, but I prefer to use text field controller to manage it. But for this project it doesn't matter actually. Yeah, so I remove this. Now we have text field controller in here, and we have consumer. Here we are. Why? And also, before starting this consumer, before starting to explain some things, let's go back stateless widgets. Yeah, like this. here we have consumer. And why? Because we want to reach ref. It's also widget ref. Let's go back to stateless widgets and I will show you how you can use the consumer. Here we have consumer. Okay, before doing that and also before the consumer, what we had icon button and empty on pressed function like this. Yeah, like this. Let's refresh application. When we click this button, nothing, right? Yeah, nothing. So we want to search something, right? When we click here, we can use both consumer widgets and consumer widgets. How? Wrap with widgets. Which widget? Consumer widget. Consumer, not consumer widget, but be careful. Yeah, it's important. I'm serious. Anyway, here we have also builder. Here. And here the body not complete normally, and we need to return some things. What? This icon button with the necessary functions. I just paste these informations. And I told you I just want to manage it, so I use text field controller. When the text field controller is empty, just refresh the state. And I know I also do not explain the refresh method, but right now I am explaining to you. Just listen carefully. Now if you want to go back, going back to initial state, like what? Here for example, initial state, and it's empty, right? So also I want to go to here, even here actually. So I want to refresh it. I want to create again, but of course it has auto dispose, so it will not problem for us. So I want to create again and I want to refresh it. When I want to this, I just want to use refresh methods, and I did. And you can also use the refresh methods I wanted to use and I used. So of course this is optional. You do not have to do like this. When it's empty, just refresh the state, blah blah blah. But I wanted to show you. Yeah, I think it's important. Now I'm creating a complex application which related with maps, maybe feed. It's like a social application, and sometimes I need to refresh my state. That's it for the refresh method. You can see here, here. Let's see. This method is useful for features like pull to refresh or ready on error to restart a specific provider. Here it wants us to provider again. Okay, it refreshed the state. Okay, simple. Do not think complicated. Riverpod is a simple state management solution. Now we use consumer to reach ref. Okay, just keep simple. Search bar widget is finished here. Now it's time to show our items, list of items. For example, here we use consumer widgets, and also we have ref.watch method. So of course maybe we can use the consumer, but anyway, for example, in this situation I use consumer widget instead of the consumer. After that, when it's empty, show simple text. This is the if condition, and else we have grid view builder. which is a nice widget. And after being and creating widgets, we use characters, images, characters, I don't know what we had, I don't know, names, websites, maybe locations, genders, and humanity, and other things you can use like this. Character lists index, then character name or character image URL. That's it. And that's all for me, guys. You can find all of the codes from my GitHub. Also, you can read my Medium article for this tutorial or for the other tutorials. It doesn't matter. You can find the links in the description. And yeah, today I showed how you can use feature provider or a normal provider, a basic provider, and of course the StateNotifier provider again. But this app is bigger than to-do application. And next I will upload a big application, for example phone number sign-in with Riverpod, or maps usage and Firebase maybe, and the other things. Just stay tuned, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and goodbye.